Hi, I'm Emma,
I'm Olivia.
and we're here in London with Verto Spring 2023.
We're going to share some of our travel tips for you guys who are starting Verto in the fall or the spring and have never traveled before or by yourself.
So, first tip is to research your area. I mean, you've probably already done some research, just surface level when you're figuring out where you want to go. But now that you've decided where you want to go, definitely do some deeper research of things to do in the area. You know, any sort of activities, museums, shopping, anything that you want to do, so you can just make a plan of things that you want to check off during your semester.
And secondly, it's definitely smart to research the language. We were both in a country last semester where the language spoken there was not our first language. She was in Florence, I was in Spain. So you will be taking Italian and Spanish, but it's nice to just interact with people that are just walking on the street or going to a restaurant and trying to speak Spanish or Italian with them. They'll appreciate it and they'll try and practice their English with you.
If you show you're trying to speak the local language, the natives will show a lot more appreciation and respect to you because they appreciate that you're just trying.
Another good tip is to try and connect with people that were in Verto last semester, your location. Just to ask them about good places for grocery shopping, ways to budget, because we're in London right now and it can be expensive. Luckily, we got a transportation card, we get an Oyster card, so everywhere we go is free, everything's covered, getting to class, and pretty much everywhere else in London. But just, asking them ways to save money, how can I make meals cheaply, things like that.
So next we're going to talk about packing, because packing is such a huge part when you're studying abroad. It's detrimental. So here's just a few tips that are like necessities, like not negotiable. First tip is definitely to have packing cubes or vacuum seal bags. It saves a lot of space because you're folding and rolling your clothes and it just compresses everything so tightly. It organizes really well, so then when you open your suitcase once you get here, it's not a huge mess. And having the packing cubes really helps when you're going on a weekend trip and you need to bring a small backpack or something, but you can only fit so much in a backpack, and you try and fit as much as you can.
And you can bring a backpack as your personal item, so
Yes.
You don't have to pay for a checked bag or carry-on when you're traveling on your own.
It just helps so you don't have a lot of stuff floating around in your bags.
Our second packing tip is to bring things that you know you're gonna wear. Bring your basic pieces, all your clothes that match well with each other. Don't bring anything that you're experimenting with, any clothing that maybe doesn't fit you the best, or just anything that you don't wear a lot at home. Do not bring it here because you will not wear it and it'll just sit there and take up space. And say you want to buy something, that piece of clothing is gonna be holding space that you could be using for something else.
Exactly. The third tip is to leave some space for home. First semester, on the way there, my bag was close to overweight, and on the way home, I was really stressing about how I was going to fit everything, because if you're like us and you do like to shop, you're probably going to do a decent amount of shopping here because there's a lot more stores, there's new stores. You buy clothes for some occasions, for vacations or something, or you just buy souvenirs, and now you need that extra space in your suitcase to bring everything home. So make sure that there's at least a little bit of space in your bag on the way there.
Also, make sure you're bringing the right adapters for the country you're going to, because I was in Spain last semester. We used like a 2-prong adapter, or that's pretty much all of Europe. And then when you come to the UK, it's completely different. So it's smart to, just research that, or buy an adapter that is interchangeable and you can use it anywhere, because we would travel to we went to Iceland, or I went to Morocco last semester and it was different prongs. So just buy one that you can use anywhere.
Another tip is to bring reusable grocery bags. I brought these last semester and they helped so much, because here at a lot of grocery stores you need to buy the bags, and the bags aren't always the best quality because they're the cheap, thin little plastic. And if you're packing a lot of groceries into those, the bags could rip. So having a nice, durable, reusable grocery bag really comes in handy to just save just that little bit of extra money. Make sure that your groceries aren't falling out, and you can use it for anything, not just groceries. So another extra tip is to bring the local currency with you in cash before you go. You can order some from your bank before you leave.
Or at the airport.
Or at the airport, yes. And this really helped, especially for right when you land and you want to buy something. Having cash on hand is always just really nice to have if you want to just buy something small and you don't want to pull out your card.
Or your card, your bank freaks out every time you purchase something in a different country.
Exactly, in case your card, because it happened to me where my card got flagged for fraud even though I let them know that I was going overseas. So having that cash to use in case something like that happens is
great.
It's amazing to have. Or God forbid you lose your card. Then you have cash.
Another good thing to do before you leave is to reach out to some of the people in your campus group. Like I reached out to Emma and we realized we have the same major and we had both been somewhere last semester, so we roomed together, and it's really easy to make friends that way. Or just creating a group chat, you know, seeing if there's anyone who lives in your state or they go to neighboring schools of yours, and just making those connections so that when you arrive at the airport or you just arrive in the country, you're not completely alone.
Yeah. So that was all the tips that we have right now. There's a lot more that we can say, and we'll probably do a couple other videos talking about solo trips or budgeting, grocery shopping, things like that. So keep an eye out. But yeah, those were our study abroad tips, and we hope you enjoyed this video and hope you learned something.